Hello everyone and welcome to the Caffeine podcast and videos. Today I'm doing a podcast just because I've been away for the past week. I have been in Normandy in France, and although my interests and research lay in the Normans, the Saxons, the Millennial Kingdom, and so it would seem that I'd gone to Normandy to do research, I actually didn't. I was visiting family. My sister died last year of cancer, and I went to see my brother-in-law who lives in France, and it was very sad to go and see them see him without my sister being there. She was only 49 and she was my older sister, and it was quite a tough visit this time, but I did go out with him. We went to Mont Saint Michel, which is a beautiful island with a your usual, what you would call Millennial Kingdom or Tartaria type architecture there. It was very busy, so it wasn't really worthy of filming because of how busy it was. You couldn't actually see over the heads of people at any kind of building at all. But otherwise it was a nice visit to go and see him. And yeah, my sister unfortunately died of cancer, and one of the things which she struggled with during that battle was the chemotherapy, and it's an odd situation because throughout my life I have always struggled significantly with my health because I had a brain tumour. So I had come to accept that it was likely that I would be the first one to die, and it wasn't the case. It was my sister at a very young age. And so one of the differences that we had, she worked in pharmaceuticals, which I didn't, and she did very well in her professional career. And there was a lockdown in recent years, and in order for her, because she got cancer suddenly, and she had to keep taking safe and effective experimental medications which were on offer, and I think they still are on offer to people because of that lockdown, if she wanted to get any health care. And as someone with a disability, I decided against the safe and effective medication which had newly come out, and I lived. Maybe that's nothing to do with it. I don't know about that. I know a few people who have become very ill in recent years, so I don't know. But what lockdown did for me is encourage me to stop being on medications. When it happened, I panicked because I thought, oh no, I can't receive any medication because all of the industries have been shut down, and I need to make sure that I'm not having seizures anymore. So I turned to the ketogenic diet, which is amazing, by the way. I've been seizure free since it, and I have a lot more stamina than I ever had in my life before. I have so much energy, stamina. It's incredible how changing the ketogenic diet has been for me. And I'm not even on it anymore. I probably will go back on it in a few weeks' time until the summer, and winter, but I like to stodge up for winter time. But it has been very, very effective. And I also went on used hemp oil for anxieties, because obviously anxiety can cause seizures, but it also it's a relaxant, and it's meant to be good for anxiety and all sorts of things. And I gave that to my sister as well. I don't know if she used it. She did go on chemotherapy, and she really struggled on that. She really, really struggled. I mean, she was desperately depressed because of how much it affected her. And she said to me, when I have this chemotherapy, it's been explained to me that it's a poison. And it's a poison which will kill all my good cells and all the bad ones. And all I have to do is repair after having all the good cells destroyed. And obviously that happened. Her good cells were destroyed, but she went downhill quickly. And then she went off it, and she started to get better. She was able to leave her home, she was able to go out, she was able to eat meals out in restaurants and all sorts of things which she hadn't been able to do when on chemotherapy. And she then had a scan done, and she was told that the cancer was growing again. So she went back on the chemotherapy. She really, really struggled again. I mean, she was suicidal, bless her, at that point. And then she said that she couldn't do it anymore, and she went on to end of life care, palliative care, and she received a lot of pressure off everyone around her. They really begged for her to go back onto chemo. I didn't. I could see that it was destroying her. It was destroying her mentally and emotionally, and I didn't want to put pressure on her to say, do something that's destroying you. So I think she gave up at that point. I think she felt that chemotherapy was the only option available to her to recover. She couldn't do it, so she was just waiting to die, basically. And I think that the chemotherapy probably destroyed her mental capacity and her emotional strength. It just demoralised her completely, really. It was so sad to see, and it's so sad that she was getting pressurised to keep on at it when she really found it a struggle. And throughout all of that battle, she actually wrote her own order of service for her funeral, which is even sadder. And she's an atheist, and she wrote a few passing comments, like a few passing quotes which had passing comments about God in them, because we went in. I actually was an atheist too, and I was very much inspired by my sister. I had become an atheist on the basis that it was argued that religions create wars. However, I would say we're in more wars now as a you know, we are probably more atheist than we are Christian. Maybe not, I don't know the statistics, but we are increasingly atheist in this nation, in the UK, and we have more wars than ever before. So I would argue that actually atheism promote wars, because the Bibles and religions tell you that you shouldn't be killing. So I mean, you know, I'm glad that I'm out of that loop of being an atheist. I always felt unsettled with it, but I ended up becoming a Christian because when I didn't know that I had a brain tumour, and when I was pregnant with this brain tumour as well, I became incredibly ill, and I thought that I'd lose the baby because I was having constant seizures, and that meant that oxygen was cut off to the baby. And that's when I started praying, and when I started praying I realised that I wasn't an atheist, and then you know, things went from there. I don't follow the church, and I never will. I don't follow authorities, and human man-made authorities, and I never will. But I do follow God, and I do follow Christ, and I'm happy with that. I'm very comfortable with that. But my sister, she made a few passing, well, she provided quotes in her order of service which did have passing comments about God, and she was there was a deliberate request for a humanist celebrant to do the funeral service, and one of them rejected my sister's order of service, which she'd written as she was dying, on the basis that there was too much mentioning of God. So, I mean, I think everything has it becomes too obsessively ideological. And it's simply an observation that I'm making, because I'm sure that some Christians may be offended with me saying that we are living in Satan's season as well. So, you know, it's just sad that someone would get so irate with a dying woman who made passing comments about God. But, you know, these things happen. But basically, I'm going to get back to all my work again. I just had to go and see my brother-in-law, you know, try and cheer him up, and I'll be back onto doing more books, more videos. My next video, incidentally, is the A to Z ones, which I'm really enjoying because it's from my antique dictionary, and it's very relevant to this conversation which I'm having, because the next one is anti-vaccine, which is interesting because we've come full circle, and that was a 1914 dictionary. So we're repeating that pattern, which is interesting, and I'd be interested to see if there's anything like anti-science written in there. I haven't checked yet, but the next video is the A to Z of the old world, and it will be anti-vaccine, which would presumably apply to me. I don't know. It depends how you interpret the word, but you know, some people interpret it in all sorts of different ways. So as with all language, which is why I'm so interested in writing at the moment, my observations right now are just mind-boggling, and I just got to get it down on paper. I've got to get these plots over. There's just endless stories going through my head, and I'm just enjoying writing them up, and I'm hoping that people are enjoying reading them. The arrest book and chapters has sort of come to a halt while I'm just formatting and sorting out these other books, and then I'll get back to that one. But yeah, it's been quite a tough week, missing my sister loads, and I had a lot to ponder on then, on that week, lots of memories to sift through and everything, and I'm back here now, and I have got some other cases. I've got some legal cases to take on as well at the moment, so they may slow me down as well, but in the meantime I'll try and do everything that I can, and I thought that I'd just explain where I've been, what's been going on, cancer, chemo, atheism and God. So please like, subscribe, share, and definitely comment. Thank you for listening. Bye.